perfect example. So let's say out of the open and you weren't doing my pre-market, right? Because my pre-market would have said buy here and it did. You made a little bit of money. It pulled back. You already knew to get out. Then it went back down here, kind of floated around, didn't do much. Let's say you're just doing the 2 minute. So let's draw out our 2 minute purchases. And then I'm going to show you what this means. So let's say first 2 minute. By the way, if you're coming out of the bell, it's literally just the first 2 minute, right? So this says buy it to the upside. Boom, there it is. Went flat. Wherever you want to sell it, you can get out. You know, once it breaks VWAP, you're out anyways, which is about break even because you bought it there, right? So
Coach, so right out of the open, if the first 2 minutes where it's going, that's considered the 2 minute?
That's correct. Yep. And that's why before I started doing pregame, that's what I'd always tell myself in my head, even though I'm not doing a 2 minute, but that's what it looks like, right? You just have to know in that first 15 minutes, for sure, it is super volatile and very crazy, but that's what you got to go by because it's the start of the day, right? So this is the move. So you've got, this is the one of these candles. I think it was the one next to it. I think it's this candle. So that's the first one, right? And you make your move and it does all the things. And you're like, oh, I got burned or whatever. Let's see. Oh, I don't like it. And then you did this one, right? And it barely went down and then, oh, it came back up and you got nuked. And you're like, oh, I don't like it. I'm not doing the next one. Guess what the next one was? You see what this one was? This one was payday.
I was just going to say payday.
Yeah, this one pays for your week, right? But you're like, oh, this didn't work out. Oh, this one I lost money. I'm not doing this one, right? And it was below VWAP. Look, it was perfect scenario. It's perfectly set up underneath VWAP. So everybody here would be panicking. Oh, I don't want that, right? I don't like it for whatever reason. Let's say you tried to cherry pick it because you got nuked on the first two. Am I right? How many in here have done that? How many, show of hands, have when I'm not getting in that one because I just got burned 3 other times?
Yep.
And then it runs and you're like, that was the one.
Been there, done that.
So don't do it. Just take all of them in risk management. Now, what I wanted to show you real quick with this is funny. This is real funny. Oh, coach, I entered this one. Does anybody want to know why this one's funny?
Yes.
Because you should have been in this, which means this wasn't a trade. If you bought here, you're still in this trade, right?
And you're over VWAP.
Yeah, that means this trade doesn't even exist, does it?
Wow.
So if you're like, oh, well, if I trade everyone that goes red and red, no, you should still be in it. You should still be in the one that was previous to it, which makes this null and void. You bought this one, which was here. You made all your money. This doesn't exist to you. So if you were cherry picking and you went, coach, I got in this one and I got burned. First thing I'm going to do is go, why were you in this one when you should have been in this one? Oh, I stopped out. You shouldn't have got stopped out because 25 to 40%, no way in hell did that tell you to get stopped out. It broke VWAP. It's never gone back, right? Let's say you bought in here, which is here, right? There's no way any of this should have burned you, right? Unless like the second it went here and you went, I'm going to put a stop. Here's what these are the things that you should be focusing on. If I enter this trade, I really don't want to touch it, right? Unless it shows me stays down here and commits to the opposite side. I want it to work a little bit in here because I need to know like, hey, are you going to stay above this line? Because if you are, I know I'm going to get paid a lot, right? This is that part where patience has to kind of kick in a little bit, right? So for some of you, you would have bought here, which would have been somewhere in here. It would have went up here. Your stop would be like right here. And of course, you would be done here.
That's me every time.
Yep.
That was me tonight.
Yep. But instead, how about next time, instead of having 10 contracts, let's go 2. Ride this out, and this will pay us like you had 10 contracts. How does that sound?
Yeah, I like it, coach. I said, I'm not always worried about locking in the profit like you say, so I'm trying to do that, and that's what it burns me.
Yeah, absolutely. The locking in the profits really is, let's say you had 100 contracts, right? Boom, this move right here, is $500. But if you had just a couple contracts, if you had 5 contracts, this wouldn't even phase you. You wouldn't even care. And you'd be like, hey, is this still what it's supposed to be doing? See, even like right here, see how it even like barely came underneath? This doesn't scare me when I'm in a contract yet, right? This move doesn't do anything. How many times have we seen it touch up and then go back down, touch back up and come back down, right? It needs to break and hold and really start to show you like, hey, this is out of here. But again, this is going to come down to that patience. This is literally going to come down to that patience and position size. So this is why I challenge all of you Monday, buy 1 contract of whatever it is you typically trade. See how long you can ride these out. See what you can do with it, because eventually you're going to get really good. And then one's going to be 10, and then 10's going to be 100 until you're up to like 1,000 contracts, right? And then you're going to be able to ride all this out. Ask Jimmy and Brady when they're riding in there. They're going to get sweat bullets on some of these, but they have to be patient because it's still saying to do exactly what it was supposed to do, right?
I think Jimmy